All right, Thursday, January 25th. Thanks for joining me. Hey, we've got a quiet weather pattern here, as you know, over the next 7 days at least. So I'll try to make this as quick as possible. But I am going to be focusing on a weather pattern change at about that February 8th through the 15th time frame. So as we approach mid-February, long ways away, but still, it's something that's going to be worth talking about. All right, here's the jet stream, the river of air at 30 to 35,000 feet from the European computer model guidance, and take a look at what it shows here as we head into this weekend. You can see that the jet, or at least the most powerful area of the jet or the jet streak is well south of Minnesota and Wisconsin. So that means that the storm track is going to be down here over Dixie, the deep south. We're going to get a lot of rain down there. Meanwhile, we're in a split flow weather pattern. You can see the split flow up here. This is one branch of the jet here across central Canada, and then this other branch of the jet here across the southern U.S. That leaves Manitoba, southern Manitoba, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin in no man's land. Hence the reason why we're going to have quiet weather, not only as we head into early next week here, but then even into later next week as that jet continues to be split. One branch, and let me just get to that towards the end of next week here. One branch goes way up into Canada, and then this other branch is way down in Texas. So, yeah, we're in no man's land for at least the next 7 and perhaps 10 days. And when you look at the low level temperature profile, this is at 850 millibars, so about 5 to 7,000 feet in our atmosphere. You can see here's the freezing line in the lower layers of our atmosphere. And watch what happens to it here as we go through time. It stays well north and east for the most part of Minnesota and Wisconsin. We get a little clipper that moves through on Monday and Tuesday, but still the bulk of the Arctic air is going to be situated over the northeastern U.S. And meanwhile, we have this warm surge of air that comes up out of the Gulf of Mexico as we head into not only next week, but the next weekend. So that means mild temperatures certainly through next week, and then maybe even into next weekend. And it's after that that we start seeing a change. And this is the GFS computer model guidance. These are the height anomalies. Of course, we always look at this graphic, but this is pretty important. Let me rewind this here for you. And here's this warm bubble of air now over the eastern half of North America, basically, right now. That's why we're so mild today and will be for the next 7 to 10 days. You can see that that warm and mild air just sits over the eastern half of the U.S. through, well, at least next weekend. This is next weekend. This is Saturday of next weekend. Still going to be warm and mild across much of the eastern half of the U.S. But here's the big change. We're starting to see a trough develop out in the western U.S. And watch what happens as we go through time. This is as we head into the the second week now of February. So this is February 7th and February 8th. And look at how this trough starts to kick disturbances. And you can see one of them here, east and northeast towards the Great Lakes region here as we get into that February 7th and 8th through the February 12th time period. That tells me that we're going to have a more active and likely a little bit colder environment here as we head into that second week and second weekend of February. You can see that here with the lower level temperatures. These are, again, the temperatures at about 5 to 7,000 feet. And look at all the warm air over eastern North America here as we go into this weekend and then into next week, even into would be February 6th and February 7th timeframe. So this is next Tuesday and Wednesday. You can see how warm it is as we head into that 6th and 7th of February time period. But here comes the change. This would be right around February 10th. You can see some Arctic air now just west and north of Minnesota, and still some warm air here over eastern North Dakota. So there's a battleground that sets up right about in this area here as we head into that February 7th through 12th time frame. So that, I think, is going to be our next opportunity for any significant precipitation. And you can see that here on the trigger graph. There just isn't much to talk about as far as precipitation is concerned. These green bars here, these rain bars over the next 24 to 36 hours is mostly drizzle. All right, and it would be scattered pockets of drizzle, I think, through Friday, the way it appears. But with the warm temperatures, you can see temperatures near or even above 40 here. for tomorrow and then into Saturday. There's just really no opportunity for any wintry precipitation. I think the mornings may feature some slick spots just like this morning, but in general, temperatures are going to be near or above freezing throughout the next 5 days. We do dip below freezing here as we get into next week, but still really mild for this time of the year. And we may even threaten a record high here on Monday. So no doubt a warm weather pattern that just doesn't show any signs of leaving here for the next 10 days. And then finally, one more time, as we get into that February 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th time frame, I think that's when changes will occur. All right, there's your forecast. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Have a great rest of your week and weekend.